Hey loves, today is part 2 of my Christmas 2025 series. If you're new here, welcome. Otherwise, welcome back. If you are new, please subscribe. I'd love to keep you around. I am hosting a Christmas series and decorating my home. I'm sharing my holiday decorating plans plus all the beautiful finds around me. I'm actually in my home office, so this is where I have everything really around me ready to show you guys. I am going to give you really valuable tips how not to create overwhelm in this season, how to plan it all out and execute. If you're ready to create a warm, inviting home without overwhelm this year, this is your guide. Let's jump in. So first and foremost is the plan, and it's choosing your color palette. That's what's so important. Are you going to use what you used last year? Are you going to bring new items in? For me, I wanted my aesthetic to match my home, and I did want it to be a little different than last year. So it's just that simple. You want to not overdo it. Of course, everybody is really conscious about spending money these days, and so you don't have to. You can add one color and it can change the entire dynamic of your design. So first and foremost, my first tip is to really choose your color palette. And so mine is cream, darker golds, as opposed to last year was very bright gold, browns, neutrals, and then I'm bringing in the black and lots of greenery. So you really want your colors to flow nicely through your home, just so that it's not, you don't want anything that's really jolting when you walk into a room. You really want it to flow. And so the way to do that is really to use colors that you're already using in the space. And to prevent it from feeling like a repeat from last year, you just bring in another neutral. You can bring in a different metallic. For example, you can bring in silver as opposed to gold, or start with brown. Play on just adding and taking away. But first place to start is your palette. Now, the second thing you want to do is you want to shop your home first. We are conscious of what we're buying. We don't want to have a spending explosion during the season and then nowhere to store it, or a big storage issue at the end, or just a lot to store, period. And so again, I always talk about being very intentional, and so I think the times we're in now dictates that more than ever. So you want to pull things like your candles, your greenery, your bowls, your vessels, your trays. Pull them all together, even if you think you're not going to use them. Of course, the ones that make sense, again, for that color palette, for that chosen color palette. The third thing that I like to think about is the layout planning. So in each of your rooms, wherever you plan to have any kind of festive situation happening, you want to figure out where your anchor spaces are. Is it your living room, your kitchen, your dining room, your bedroom, your entryway? Those are your anchor spaces. Where am I decorating? And then you want to move around furniture before you actually start decorating. So maybe the Christmas tree this year should go in a different place. Maybe something else needs to move around. Maybe things that were there last year are not, and vice versa. Maybe you bought furniture during the year and you need to figure out how to rearrange things. Once you have your layout planning done, you want to move on to your tree planning. And that oftentimes means figuring out your ornament count. I know that this poses a problem for many people because maybe you changed your tree size. So let's just rattle it off. So for a 7-foot tree, you want about 90 to 100 ornaments. For an 8-foot tree, you're going to want 110 to about 140 ornaments for an 8-foot tree. For a 9-foot tree, you're going to want about 150 to 200 ornament. For a 12-foot tree, you need 250 to about 350 ornament.
If you want my full tree decor quantity guide, just comment tree guide below and I'll send it to you.
So be sure that you are including in your count, when I say ornaments, that's the ribbon, the picks, the lights, the topper. So it definitely depends on the size ornaments you're using. Lots of people are using 8-inch balls this year, so you have to adjust accordingly. Next, gift wrap day. Choose a cozy day. Choose a cozy space in your home for wrapping. Set up a station fully equipped with your scissors, your wrapping paper, all of the things, and get cozy. That really helps to reduce the overwhelm. So one really good tip is the Amazon boxes that you get, any kind of packaging and shipping boxes. When your tree is empty, both before and after the holiday, just take about 3 or 4 boxes. I have collected several here in different sizes, and then you just want to wrap it. Just wrap them up so that you have a nice setup before and after the holiday. That way your tree's not looking bare, either before or after Christmas Day. So the next thing is, particularly with the tree, that you want to do is you want to make sure that your tree is super well lit. You can almost guarantee that if you bring it home from the store, it's not going to look as nice as it does when you first plug it in, and it looks so nice because you've got that, oh, shock, it looks beautiful because it's just, it's lit up. But what happens is when you start to add in all of your elements, the light gets dimmer and dimmer in terms of visibility, in terms of just being able to see it. So always, always, always allow for a few extra strings of lights. I would always have 4 extra sets on hand. I mean, obviously, because you have to connect them together, starting at the top and work your way down. That's the way I like to do it. That's what I recommend. And so, it's going to take about four of those, even for a 7-foot tree, or maybe even 6 if you're going for, say, like a 12-foot tree. You'll want to adjust accordingly, but definitely build in some warm lights. They don't even have to be as bright. And then of course, if you want some of the twinkle lights, you can do both. You can do warm and twinkle. So I grabbed something to drink because now I'm going to show you around the things that I bought. I've got them all surrounded around me, and I'm just going to go category by category. And actually, that is how I think you should think about things. So I'm going to address greenery first, for example. And I think that you should think about your greenery first. Many reasons. One, because you want to hurry up and get it before it's all gone, especially if you're shopping retail. And then you want to make sure that you have it incorporated and can get your hands on it, even if you're going, say, the Amazon route. So I will have the greenery and everything linked in the description box. Of course, if it came from Walmart, or of course, if it came from Home Goods, you'll have to shop your local store. But I'll mention where I got it from. So grab your drink and let's take a look around. So starting right here with the greenery, I am really partial this year to using the Norfolk pine. And so these actually are from last year. They're not Norfolk pines, but I'm not going to use Norfolk pine exclusively. I am shopping my home. I'm using what I used last year. And so I've got these beautiful picks that I've had for several years. They came from Walmart a few years ago. Absolutely gorgeous. But this beautiful pick here came from Walmart. It is identical actually to this, which is my swag. And so these will be on the back of my chair. So they've got the silver on them. It's not glitter. I'm anti-glitter if you didn't know that. I keep saying it, but I really am. Anyway, these are beautiful swags that Walmart had last year. I have not seen these this year, but these will show up and you'll see them a little later in my house again. Now this is so beautiful with these. This is the look I'm going for. This is that antique gold, and I'm going to embellish this in some way. I'm going to incorporate in some of the brown ribbon and that I purchased, and so I'll embellish it in that way. Not even sure where it's going to go yet, but beautiful. And I got this last year at Hobby Lobby. So behind me here are the Norfolk pines, and I'm just going to link several options for you below. These are absolutely beautiful. Why? Because they're very malleable but sturdy. So there's a wire inside of these, and so the way that they droop, the way that they hang on things is just so beautiful. You get, I think, don't quote me on this, but I think it's about a dozen in a pack easily. So I'll post several options for you below. But this is the star feature in terms of garland, and I don't have the garland here with me. It's going to actually come tomorrow, but I have them from Amazon. Absolutely beautiful. They come in 9 feet, 12 feet, 6 feet. You just figure out your size. Do yourself a favor and pick up some of these. For a mantle, I suggest that you get at least 2. Because it is very dense, it is very full, but it just looks better with 2. So if you're going to do a mantle, and then if you're going to do other spaces around, you'll want to get, 2 or 4. If you watched the Hobby Lobby video, you saw me oohing and ahhing over these. They're absolutely beautiful. I picked up 4 of them. They're felt on the back, and they are for my place setting. So Hobby Lobby fine. And so you should be able to still find these. They had plenty of these at Hobby Lobby. Now these beauties here, they have, if you can see that, they have that, you see that, how they have that, what's supposed to look like they're iced. These are so beautiful, the eucalyptus. I got these at Hobby Lobby, not sure because it was last season, again, shop my home. But this is another greenery. Remember that you can use this greenery either in your tree. You can certainly bend this and make them shorter, that it would be a beautiful topper, or you can use them around your home. Again, pull your greenery first. I can't recommend that enough. The last piece of greenery, so the last thing that I have, and this isn't greenery, obviously it's sticks, but I just thought that it may really complement. It's got the brown, it's got those ice, if you can see the ice on it. So I have some of these. I do believe that these came from Home Goods. In terms of lights, I bought about 12, I think it's a dozen pack. I'm going to link it in the description box for sure. But I bought 12 mini lights because I'm going to be weaving in those mini lights. And they're just battery operated mini lights. They're $9.99. You cannot go wrong with these. Walmart doesn't sell them anymore. This is really odd. I noticed last year that Walmart really scaled back on their lights. Now, I don't know if anything changed over the weekend. I did not go on Walmart. I'll be going back, of course, but grab some mini lights because you want to weave those inside of your garlands. I always recommend that. You can weave it inside of your Christmas balls. You can weave it inside of your garlands. Get some mini lights. Got this at the at-home store. You may have seen it. If you haven't seen the video, I'll link that video. I think you should definitely watch all the shopping videos. But this is so beautiful. It is so, it's just robust. It just feels so full. It has got some beautiful, let me see if I can get close to the camera and show you guys that. It's so beautiful. This, of course, brings in all of that beautiful chocolate brown that I'm going for, the real nature feel. It just feels so cozy. Chef's kiss. So I talked earlier about your vessels, and I have a couple that I'm not going to show you here because they are already out and in position, but I do have 2 that I'll share with you. This one being my first. I just picked this up. This is something that I've had my eye on at Home Goods forever. It has nothing to do with Christmas, but it is a shell, and that iridescence is just so beautiful. I haven't even cleaned it yet, actually, so it's some debris inside, but you get the point. It's just so beautiful. And can't you imagine this holding some greenery or some moss or some combination of moss and Christmas balls, or you get my point. You see where I'm going with this. Get your vessels out and play around with your ideas about what it is that you can use in your home already that you have for things like staging. I picked up this beautiful simmer pot, and I will be making my home smell good. I will link this in the description box. I've wanted this simmer pot, I think 5 years. I have had this on my list for about 5 years. Very beautiful. It's got the, if you can see that, it's got a nice hole in the top of it because that's what lets out the aroma. And you add in your beautiful scents, your orange, your cranberries, your lemons, your whatever you want to infuse, if you will, and put it on a low setting, and it just makes your house smell so fragrant. I will link this in the description box. So I'm down here on the floor, and next up on the list, very important, are your picks. Picks are, I would venture to say that picks are the hardest thing of all to make sure that you have on hand enough of them. And so I really suggest that you figure this part out ASAP and get them. along with your Christmas ornaments. Like I said, I treat them as one of the same because they are tree fillers, if you will. So it does go hand in hand with that and actually the ribbon. Let me share what I got. Let me share what this year's plan for me. I picked up about 6 of these from Hobby Lobby, the beautiful poinsettias. These I already had. I got them at Walmart. They have the snow on them. They are just plastic, but again, you can bend them in all different directions, and probably won't find it this year, but that's what I'm using, again, shopping my home. So this one is new. This one is a retake from last year. So from Hobby Lobby this year, and this is so beautiful to me. Just the color is beautiful. So yes, the flocking on it is so beautiful, but I'm going to be using this for my topper. So I did not pick up a bunch of these. I actually have them in black, and I probably won't use them this year, but I had them last year. My tree all around had, easily 18 or so of these bunches. But as you can see, they're very full. And once you pull them out, so I'm using these as the topper and the spray. So if you want some of these, they're at Hobby Lobby, and they were $10.99. The other thing that I picked up last year, I do know that they do still have these at Hobby Lobby, are these gorgeous pearls. I love these. Love, love, love. This goes with every color. Listen, if you're using Ralph Lauren or you're using any color combination, the trick to toning it down and making it feel warm and breaking up that color and really giving the eye some sort of rest is to put something very neutral. So this is a pearl color. It's not white, but you also could use white. And that also goes for clear. Clear is another way just to give the eye a rest and a break. So I have plenty of these. I'm using them throughout the tree. And yeah, Hobby Lobby. Another spray that I thought was so very beautiful. Hopefully you can really see this. It's got little ice on the branches here. But it's just the cutest thing with these little mini pine cones. I just thought that was so beautiful. I just picked up 2 of these because, again, this is just for my topper. These, I had these last year. I got these from Temu last year. And I love them. I love the softness that these gave. So I probably will be using a few of these throughout the tree and the topper. So again, picks. And then lastly, this gives off a darker gold. You remember I was telling you that I'm not using that bright gold. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to use this eucalyptus leaf throughout my tree and throughout my topper as well. So I think together you can kind of get a good idea that this is going to be really pretty. Let's see how it comes out. The thing you want to think through are your kitchen and hosting items. I'm not going to jump into any of those. I obviously don't have kitchen items up here in my office, but do keep those in mind, again, corral them and pre-plan for those. Something else is bedroom holiday items. So I'm going to do a bedroom video next. And so that is what you can look forward to for Sunday. So specialty items is another thing that you may pick up from a store. I'm actually going to go out. I think it's just a good idea. Stores, and let me know if you want me to bring you along. I certainly will. I have 2 stores in mind that are just absolutely beautiful at Christmas time. They may not be in your location, but there are these specialty stores. And so you can kind of pick up things that, again, being very intentional. But I'm sure that there are holiday shops that you may go to, and that's where you really find these special, not so mass market things. I really suggest that. I'm going to share with you the one thing I picked up so far. I actually picked it up at Home Goods, but I know that there aren't a ton of them out there, and it's just my little special items. And I am looking probably for about a handful of more specialty items. Those are the ones that you want to put on things like the spinners on the tree. I'm actually going to link some spinners down below for you if you're interested in having those. So let's get back to some of the items around the that you see around me here. Now I picked these up. These beauties have fur on them, so soft, so pretty. And I picked up a set, if you can see the other one here over my head. So I picked up 2 of those from Hobby Lobby, and this one was half price, so it was $14 for the small one and about $16 for the larger one. I absolutely adore these. I adore the color, and I love everything about them. It's so chic. It's just beautiful. Now I'm bringing him back from last year. I have a white one and I picked these up at Walmart. I haven't seen them out this year. Walmart has a different selection, still very beautiful. They actually have some very beautiful wooden ones. If you saw my Walmart video, you got a glimpse of those. But I'm going to get the snow off of him from last year and he will have a place in my home. I love nutcrackers. My theme, of course, is greenery. It's very woodsy with the brown tones, but I am bringing in nutcrackers and pine cones as a part of my theme. And of course, always my deer, which in case, let's go look at Bentley. So Bentley has had his antlers assembled and he is ready to go. Beautiful, beautiful. This came from Home Goods last season. Have not seen him this year, but you can check your local Home Goods and maybe you'll find a Bentley too. I just love Bentley. Now this beauty here, if you saw an earlier video, I think it was the Walmart video, I picked this up. I've never used it. I still haven't shined it up. I wiped it off and cleaned it off, but I need to polish up the silver up there. But I just love this beauty here, and I'm going to put a candle inside of it, and I think it's going to be absolutely spectacular. So again, these are the things that I mean when I say your props. So in addition to your bowls and other things, you know, just beautiful. So I have several deer. These came from Hobby Lobby. Absolutely love the color. I picked up two of them. I got the standing up one and I got the sitting down deer. Beautiful color, Hobby Lobby. So this is last year. I have to dust off the snow off of this, but these, I got a pair. I am still on the lookout if I can to get I would get a third one. I would get the one that stands up in black. I haven't seen it. I definitely have been looking. So if you've seen it at Hobby Lobby, please drop me a comment and let me know to go run and go get it. Now you know that these are the flocked, and I changed out the ribbon on these. So that's another tip. Definitely change it out. That's another way to add and incorporate your color. Love these. These are the flocked. These all came from Walmart. I'm not going to use a ton of these this year. I have a lot of black. I have a lot of these in black, but these are the extent of how many I got in the 8-inch. But just absolutely love these. They are beautiful. Now last year I incorporated these. Remember I said a way to break up your color, break up the eye, is to incorporate something clear, something white, something off-white. Here you go. So I'm going to be using these. Love them. These came from the at-home store. And then I do have several of 4-inch different shapes. So then I changed out the ribbon on those. These are shatterproof from last year. Again, breaking up with that clear. And so I'm going to add these. I've got a nice amount of these that will help me to break up all of the black and brown. The beauty of these is the iridescence just takes on any color that's in the room with it. I absolutely love that. This next Christmas ball is glass. It's got a snowflake on it, if you can see that. I didn't bother to change the string on it. I think it's beautiful just as is. And if you can see it, it actually gets lighter and darker depending on how the light casts on it. But it's just really, really beautiful. So pretty. So pretty. These beauties came from Hobby Lobby. I love the onion shape. I love the round shape. I love the glitter. It's not glitter. I love the glitter that it has on it. It's actually glued and it's made into the ball. And I definitely love the paper design. You know, another tip, if you are choosing a palette and you're a little stunted in that, find your inspiration piece. It's the same in every design project in your home. Find your inspiration piece. This was my inspiration. And it is spectacular. It's a rather large ball, as you can see. So I did change this out. I changed it to a leather. I'll link this down below. It's cool. I got this off of Amazon. But because this is glass, I needed to make sure that it was going to be strong enough to hold it, and I wanted it to be long enough. I wanted it to hang a certain length, and so I think that that's going to be simply elegant and beautiful. Isn't that beautiful? For ornaments, this one is a big pine cone that is absolute perfection, and I got this at the at-home store. These two came from Walmart. Absolutely beautiful. They are both ceramic. The acorn and the little tree, isn't that beautiful? Just perfection. I picked up several of these houses to bring in the black. I thought it was so nice because it's wood and it offers, you know, sort of the tan color here. Just so nice. Really pretty. $2.50 I think these were at Walmart. In shopping my home, I found several of these that I'm going to use to bring in that cream color because I didn't pick up any cream Christmas balls. Although if you're looking for some cream Christmas balls, I will have them linked in the description box. They're going to be over in my Amazon storefront. Everything actually is over in my Amazon storefront and that I suggest in this video. So if you can see, last year I was using a different method to hang things, and this is on the floral wire. This year I've decided to use ribbon. That of course is your choice. The third option there are to use zip ties. But isn't that just beautiful? You know, so this is a specialty item. It's one that I picked up at Home Goods. And again, I'm going to look for a couple more specialty items when I go out shopping at the smaller specialty stores. That glass bell is just beautiful, and I did change the ribbon. Now these beautiful paper ornaments are some of my favorite. They come 3 in a pack from Walmart, and if you can see there, they're just magnetized. And aren't they beautiful? They come in 3 different sizes, like I said, and $10.
So easy ways to start. You can focus on frequent use spaces first, and these motivate you subconsciously and make your whole home feel festive. So for example, in your bathroom, you can add greenery, holiday hand soaps, ribbons, fairy lights, a mini wreath. Then in your kitchen, like I have here, something family friendly, coffee, tea, a cocoa station. The second way that I think is really easy is to create a sensory experience. So I said this earlier before, but a simmer pot, candles, diffusers, some pine oil, soft music, those sort of things create that sensory experience. And what's happening in the background is you are slowly easing into the season. Lastly, start with one small vignette, like so a tray, a bowl of ornaments, a single accent table. Those are definitely 3 ways that you will ease your way into the season, and it'll keep you going. I got 3 of these pillars or columns. They are from Hobby Lobby. Just love those. Or I got these 3 candle holders from Hobby Lobby. And so you see how this one isn't quite straight in there. I have a trick for you. You can use museum wax to secure the bottom of your candles. I will link it in the description box. And so then that way you can make sure that they are upright. Pulled out this candelabra that has never been used. I got it several seasons ago from TJ Maxx. I paid $25. You probably can still see the sticker there. But I'm going to decide if I bring that out again. That's that crystal. And if you can see just how the white breaks that dark color up. But these are all the vessels that I have collected for myself. And now these, I've spray painted them black. I love the way they turned out, and you can see how gorgeous it's going to look with that candle in it. And then I do have some extras if I want to use these vessels here. They really stay on my credenza, but I may use them. So I've got plenty to pull from. I have had this for about 3 years now from Home Goods. And so I would just take off the top. And just take off the top and put a beautiful arrangement in it. It gives such height variation. That's what you're looking for. You're looking to be able to take the eye. I know I'm waving the camera up and down, but you're looking to take the eye up and down. So don't forget your ribbons. I got this wrapping paper. Be sure you check your size of your wrapping paper. If you notice there, that one in black is actually for smaller boxes. I'll link it. I think it's going to turn out beautifully, and I'll be able to recover my office. So this is where the video ends. That's all I have for you today. I really enjoyed sharing these tips with you. I enjoyed sharing all of the beautiful finds.
I can't wait to do my bedroom next. And so I'm hoping that you are subscribed and that you will come back and join me. And please, 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 I look forward to your comments. Tell me what your color palette is. I don't know. That's my big question. I'm so curious what everyone else is doing. I know that the Ralph Lauren is very popular. Some people still like to stick to the neutrals. And then, of course, you have those who like their specialty colors. Maybe your color is pink. I don't know. That's why I want you to tell me. So leave me a comment and I look forward to seeing you next time, love. Again, always keep elevating your space. Be super intentional about the spaces around you. It's all about how it makes you feel. It's all about the people who enjoy those spaces, including yourself.